Welcome, everybody, to the Final Four of the National Wheelchair Basketball Association National Championships here in Richmond, Virginia. Coming up, we have your WASA Marquette Golden Eagles versus the Lakeshore Sharks from Alabama. We'll get started in about 4 minutes. Good afternoon, everybody. Looks like they might be waiting for another referee before we have the tip-off, so both teams still warming up. We'll be back in action once we have a tip-off. Looks like they also are going to replace the rims. Interesting. In the entire time we've had it here, we've been using the glass backboards, but they are going to convert to the clip-on rims. Not sure why they're doing that, but looks like it'll be a few minutes before this game gets started. Add those rims. Prep team plays on 8.5-foot hoops, which is what the hoops were lowered to, and that's what these clip-on rims that you see them putting on now are also designed to go down to. These are the type of rims that we practice at most times at the gym, and are known to be a little bit more favorable to balls rolling in because the backboards have such a give on them. Don't know if that would be an advantage. Check out on the court, the underneath the far rim, you'll see Easton, who played with us last year. On the back of his chair has a series of Marquette pennants, about 50 Marquette pennants taped together to make a big flag. People are pumped up to see the Golden Eagles play. A few slight adjustments will happen here in the game because those rims are now so far forward than the rims on the glass backboard. You can see that they are a good 2.5 feet forward. What will happen is that green tape that you might be able to see in front of the free throw lines, that is likely going to be removed because free throws are a shorter distance in the prep division, and that green tape is ahead of the free throw line because they were shooting on the glass backboards. They now are going to be shooting on the attached rims, which means that they'll use the regular free throw line. This also gives an incredible amount of space on the baseline to the point where their players are going to be able to freely move in between the baseline. The baseline in the previous glass backboard measures maybe about 4 feet. Now that's about 6 feet. So you'll see a little bit more action underneath there because players won't be so worried getting out of bounds. This also functionally makes the lane shorter and smaller, so probably less 3-second calls here as well, as people are able to set up their offense another 2 feet closer to the rim without getting a 3-second violation. We'll try to find out why they're doing that there. May have something to do with that this is the Final Four game and has to do with NWBA regulations. On the far court, you'll see the other Final Four game in the background there. In white, you have Dallas, which is the #1 team and is undefeated this season. And then you have New York. Both teams are sporting their NBA teams' uniforms with the Mavericks, and the Knicks. So very cool to face one of them in the finals. New York was able to knock out Mary Freebed and a couple of other teams in order to make it to the Final Four. Here in our Final Four, we have the #6 and #8 seed. Both of them were able to knock out their competition, with Atlanta being defeated by Lakeshore, and of course Marquette able to beat Fairfax. players getting some extra shots on this newer rim. They do this by playing a game called Lightning or Knockout, depending on how you refer to it. So Eleanor is going to take the shot here. And now Sydney, if Sydney makes her shot before Eleanor makes a final follow-up shot, Eleanor would be knocked out. All right, referee is telling them, wants to be fair, I think, and make sure that both teams have enough time on the newer rims and that Marquette doesn't have an advantage by practicing on the newer rims. So they put 5 minutes on the clock. My guess is as soon as they move that ladder, both teams will have 5 minutes to warm up on the new hoops. For those of us just joining us, we are still in delay here as they move from the glass backboards that they have used previously in the tournament to use the clip-on rims that you see with the white backboards there. Not sure why that change is being made. We'll try to talk to some of the coaches to figure that out, but it is a change nonetheless. And they put 5 minutes on the clock. Our guess is that they're going to give these teams 5 minutes to warm up on the new rims, but not sure yet. So we'll get started as soon as there's a tip-off. Looks like we are ready for action. Getting started about 20 minutes later than tip-off time as they installed the clip-on rims. And we have your Final Four action between the WASA Marquette Golden Eagles and the Lakeshore Sharks. It is incredible to see all the female athletes on the floor. Of course, our starting five at Marquette are all female athletes, and there are several on Lakeshore as well. How cool is that in a co-ed division that these two teams are in the Final Four? Here we go. Sydney gets a tip back to Leah. Ivy's got it. Anna has a bunch of people picked out. Nice seal by Lucy. Back to Sydney. Sydney controls it. Nice 2 points for Marquette. We have not seen Lakeshore before, so let's see who the primary threats are here. In their earlier game, 23, who has the ball right now, was making some shots, as well as 22. 42 able to get down low. Worried about the 3 seconds. Early foul called instead of a 3-second call. Didn't quite catch who that is on. I believe that might be on Ivy. All right, 23 is a shooter. Far overshoots it. Leah's got the rebound. She gets fouled. Tapped back in. They did not call the foul, but it is Marquette ball. Leah is tough. Again, the youngest player on the starting five here. On the court, you have Marquette starting five with Lucy, Sydney, Anna, Ivy, and Leah. Leah's back up in her chair. Anna's getting some final instruction. You can see Lakeshore's strategy right now is they've got their top two defenders pinning Sydney in the corner without much room to go anywhere. With the dead ball time, they had a chance to kind of pin her there. So we'll see if they just hold that. And Marquette now has a 3-on-2. Anna glides to the hoop. Not able to finish. Off Ivy's chair. Leah's got it. She drops it off to Sydney. Ball's over to Anna. Sydney's too far deep underneath. Gets it to Leah wide open. Unable to connect. All right, looks like they are back in a teacup for the defense here. 23 is in the lane. Decides to push it back out. Marquette doing a great job keeping everybody out in the lane. 42 is big. She's in the lane there for a second. Nobody sees her. Anna's able to push her back out. .23 being held well beyond the three-point line. Great defense by Marquette. Ivy slides underneath, puts a hand up. That shot did not go in. Must have hit earlier than the rim. Ivy brings the ball down. She's all alone. So much attention being focused on Sydney. The other players are going to have lots of opportunities with an advantage if they're going to put two players out on Sydney. Home. On the scoreboard, folks, home is the Marquette Golden Eagles. Guests with 0 points currently. Our Lakeshore timeout called to reconsider probably the defense there. With so many easy buckets coming to the other players, they're going to have to rethink that strategy. Our other players are just too good to put your top two defenders out on Sydney on the 2-point line. She can just sit there and watch her team score all day long. And it's hard to score against Marquette. So if you give up those easy buckets, you got to be able to keep up on the other end. and not sure if Lakeshore is able to do that. So some changes in strategy over there from Lakeshore to figure out what to do next. Marquette is a tough, tough team to guard. All right, you can see Marquette lined up in what's called the teacup defense there. So Lucy's going to peel off and take 22. Ivy's going to peel off and take 42. Leah's still in the middle, locking that position down there. So it's a zone defense, but unlike a 2-1-2 zone, they all start on the top to push people outside the three-point line. Some crossing action there. 20 looks like she's had some ball or some picking skills, but they are too far outside of the court to get a good shot. This is good news for Marquette that their defense is able to keep that shooter past his comfort zone. Doesn't look to be looking at the rim, which means his comfort zone is probably in that 8 feet. He takes about a 12-footer. It's too long. Lucy's got the rebound. Sign of frustration there by taking that shot that might be a bit out of range. Sydney and Ivy are picking for Lucy. That leaves Sydney wide open to go to the hoop. Nice, easy bucket. Marquette is up 6-0. Looks like we match up really well against this team. So much speed on the court. Sydney able to break double teams. And if they put their top two defenders on her, that's going to leave our team wide open. Great defense on the other side of the court. 20 had a chance to break to the rim, stopped their chair, and that ball goes out of bounds. Marquette basketball. Ivy's got the ball with Anna. Anna's got a seal there. Nice pick and roll action. Anna breaks to the hoop. They've got to decide who to guard. Anna gets fouled, and she's headed to the free throw line. Anna's an excellent free throw shooter. You can see her lining up behind the actual free throw line, that black line, instead of the green tape. And that's because these attached rims carry that basket closer to the free throw shooter. 2 shots for Anna Cosgrove. First shot just off the back of the rim. She's going to have another shot here. Oh, ball just bounces out of the reach of the offensive rebound. Here comes Lakeshore. Marquette's got to get back. Marquette is back, keeps everybody out of the lane. They've got their defense set up. 23 sneaks in. He's stuck in the lane. Sydney's got 2. She needs to call for some help. Anna comes over to help. Looks like their strategy is just to slash into the lane and hope the passer is aware enough to make a pass. That could work, but the timing of that has to be perfect. And with Lucy out there holding the ball handler, you don't have an easy look at the basket. So there's that cut and the basket. So there you can see that they had the timing of that just perfect. So after about 10 cuts to in and out of the lane, they're finally able to connect. Marquette passes too high for Sydney. Sydney was wide open, but that pass came in a little too hot for Sydney to handle. But good news that Sydney's able to get to the rim. That ball is going to go out of bounds, still Lakeshore ball. So looks like the instruction from Lakeshore's coach on that timeout was largely related to offensive strategy, because you can see they're letting Sydney escape out there. Sydney decides to come back and backpick to help. She now waits for her team. Anna is able to just roll right to the hoop and score. Again, they are spending all of their defensive energy on Sydney, which makes sense after scoring 25 points last game. But this is going to line up the Cosgrove sisters to have a huge game if they continue with that defense. You can see that yo-yo defense. Ivy comes out now that the shooter moved to the right. He goes to the left. Ivy was a bit too aggressive and was able to get picked out by the other team. That leads to an offensive score by Lakeshore. Ivy just too aggressive on that yo-yo defense, and her offensive player she was holding, number 20, was able to slip around. That's a mistake she'll only make once. Wide open layups being given to us. We've got to finish those because their strategy is to put their defenders on to Sydney. Other players are going to have to hit their layups. They've done a good job thus far, but one miss there. Great ball handling by number 22. Marquette's defense is just too good. Lots of athleticism on this Lakeshore team. Again, their offense is to slash to the lane and hope that the pass is there. Number 22 had a chance there. Offensive foul, that's a good call. You could hear the chairs crashing. If you don't have control of your chair, even if you pass it off, the refs are going to call that most of the time. All right, you can see Leo working with Sydney over here on the right-hand side. They have dropped the double team of Sydney. This should give Sydney a good opportunity to get open. There it is. Sydney cuts around to the middle. She's got to be patient on that shot and scores. So tough to defend Marquette. If you don't double team Sydney, she's able to beat nearly every player in the league to get around, especially if she's got somebody like Leah picking with her. But if you double team her with your best defenders, you're going to leave our players open for those layups. So far, so good for Marquette. This lane slashing is a little worrisome. There, they shoot up a shot instead. Lucy's able to save the ball. They've got a 10-second call here. They've got to get the ball across the... Oh, over and back on Lucy. Great attempt to try to salvage that play. Probably a foul call down there with the other player tipping over Ivy's chair. Only 0.7 seconds here. Nothing Lakeshore can do about it. Generous 0.7 seconds there, more like 7 seconds. Doesn't do any harm to either team. Marquette off to a strong start, 10-4. We are back in action. Hopefully you can see in the lower left-hand corner this beautiful pennant flag that Mark, Eleanor's dad, is waving. Lots to cheer about with this Marquette team. Let's see if the coaches make any adjustment. Looks like Marquette's happy with their defense. They're going to continue that teacup. Nice offensive rebound by 22 sneaking in there. But Sydney's got the follow-up rebound. Leah is down again. I don't think Leah's fallen all season, but she's being super aggressive now. She's using the pop out of your buckle strategy to be able to reposition herself. Great to see her being so aggressive on the court, being such a young player, knowing her role so well, sealing for her teammates, and knowing if they're too aggressive on offensive players like Sydney that she can sneak to the hoop and score as well. All right, just a single team over here on Sydney. Ivy's able to get a seal, get Sydney to the basket. Oh, in and out. Anna's got it. Lots of hands in her face. That should be a foul for sure. This is Anna's second trip to the free throw line. You hear some screaming of 3 seconds from some parents on the other team. As a reminder for our audience, the 3-second clock resets every time you take a shot. So it's only if you're stagnant in the lane, not if you're actively shooting. Anna finishes the second free throw. She's 1 for 4. Hopefully has her rhythm down because I think she's going to get fouled a lot today, slashing to get her layups. Give to Lakeshore's credit. They're making Sydney push hard. Sydney has got to fight to get to her defensive position, fight on offense. They're going to do a great job slashing to the lane. Another 10, 12-foot shot from Lakeshore. Not showing much patience trying to get it into the lane. Awesome crossover by Ivy. But because she was focusing on the ball so much, not able to stop her chair. That's 2. We believe that's 2 fouls on Ivy. So she's got to be careful. Let's make sure she doesn't get any more fouls. Sydney pulls up. She's got the rebound. Lucy's got 1. Out. Sydney's got the ball. She sees Lucy. Lucy to the hoop. So amazing to see these great players scoring. Last year we struggled a little bit, but so much practice, hard work put in by these young athletes to make sure when they get out, they have great finishing like Lucy just did there. Leah and Ivy doing a great job on defense there. You can see that yo-yo again. Knowing 12 is not their primary scorer, Leah can be a little bit more aggressive on that. Another 10-foot shot, maybe 12 feet. Hoping that he does not catch his rhythm because that is a great shot from a prep player at that distance. That could be challenging to hold going forward if he's consistent. Ivy sees Anna in the middle. Anna scores. Great pick and roll action by the Cosgrove sisters. 5 minutes left to go in the first half, and Marquette is up 15-6. Marquette has allowed a little bit of offensive rebounds to come in, but other than that, they have not allowed a shot in the lane. Leah's got her player pinned down on the baseline. That baseline is so far under the hoop. Now Lucy is over. 20 able to slash in the lane. Marquette's got to be careful with that. But again, the timing has to be perfect. They have to be in the lane with the ball handler looking right at them, not trying to execute a spin move or otherwise. Don't know if anybody else has the range of 23. This has been about a minute possession for Lakeshore. Showing good patience, but no ability to get any closer to the rim than about, well, the three-point line is about 14 feet out. Notice how they're each passing it off to one another. Great job by Leah coming out there. Probably a pick. Oh, nice ball handling, but Anna's able to recover. Great athleticism by 22. She is fun to watch. Not able to finish the shot. Ivy's got the timeout by the coach. And with 3:37 left to go in the first half, they're up 15-6. See in the front court, Leah's got the pick for Sydney. 22, they now have a mismatch with 22 on Sydney. Ivy's wide open to the lane. Oh, ball goes all the way around the rim 1.5 times and then falls in. Marquette able to execute their offense. That's good news for Marquette. Offensive foul called here against 2-0. I didn't quite see that play. 2-0 is coming to the front of the court on you right now with the hair past their ears. All right, here is Anna. Sydney just has a single team down there with a quick defender, but let's see what Sydney's able to do. She gets a pick from Ivy. They're both in the lane. She's got to take a quick shot. That doesn't land. Lucy's there. Ball unfortunately slips out of bounds, and it's Lakeshore ball. A little crowded over there. If Ivy and Sydney are going to be that close, you'd prefer that to be out of the lane so they're not in such a rush. Marquette's defense is holding strong with the exceptions of offensive rebounds, where 4 of Lakeshore's points have come from. Interestingly, 23 not on the court right now. Their primary offensive threats. 22's got great ball handling skills, even able to get by some of our best defenders on a one-on-one. Again, about another minute possession here by Lakeshore. Lucy spins, keeps 22 out of the lane. Now that move might work previously. Oh, foul by Sydney. But now that baseline is so deep under the basket. Sydney with her first foul. Let's see what 42 can do from the free throw line. First shot is good and rolls in. That cuts the lead, the Marquette lead, to 10. And makes both. That is rare in the prep division. We're going to have to watch out for 42 with those kind of foul shot skills. Ivy's got the ball. 23 is back in the game. Lucy's open and scores. All 5 on the starting 5 of Marquette can make that shot. Super rare, particularly in the prep division. And good to see that they're feeling comfortable at this point in the season, at this point in the tournament. .22 is super quick, great chair skills, able to pivot around. All the players just have to keep focusing on the chair that's in front of them and not allow a cut like 42 is just able to do. Fortunately, Lucy's quick enough to recover and get her big wheel in front of the offensive big wheels. She's going to try to take that shot. That could be 3 fouls on Ivy. That is something to watch. Not sure if that is 2 or 3 fouls on Ivy. You only get 5. It would be devastating not to have Ivy on offense and defense. Must only be 2, otherwise I'm sure coach would take her out. We'll keep an eye on that. Another solid looking free throw. That might be part of this team's offensive. Aggressive cutting lead to the lane, getting the fouls, and making free throws. And she drains the second shot. Some good free throw shooters here. Watch out for Marquette on these fouls that they have. Nice seal by Anna. 30 seconds left. Anna's got Ivy rolling to the hoop. Great pick and roll. This time Ivy gets fouled and she's headed to the line. Ivy also a very solid free throw shooter. Hopefully those warm-ups on these new rims helped. First one a little bit short. And she drains the second one. All right, a success here would be getting out of this half without Ivy committing another foul. Ball's too strong. Leah's got it. 6 seconds. Marquette's just going to hold this and be happy with a 20-9 lead, which is great to see in this Final Four round. We'll be back with you all at halftime. Don't worry if the screen goes dark here. That's just me charging my phone. Make sure we have enough juice with this 20-minute late start. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the second half. Second half action about to start with your Marquette WASA Golden Eagles facing the Alabama Lakeshore Sharks. It is Marquette ball. They'll be headed the opposite direction as we switch courts for the second half. Great first half for Marquette. One thing to watch out is to see fouls Ivy Cosgrove has, playing very aggressive defense, had one offensive foul. We need her on the court in such a tough team. Other than that, it is going pretty well for Marquette. They've been able to get to the rim, which they like to do, and also hold very tight defense. Ivy's got to get back out of the lane there. They get it to Sydney. That's a tough shot for Sydney. Definitely a 3 seconds with Leah lined up in the lane. They've got to get the ball closer to Sydney, quicker to Sydney, when she has her sealer already in the lane. All right, here comes the Lakeshore Sharks. Let's see if they have any adjustments. They have adjusted throughout the entire second quarter to have 22 to be their primary ball handler rather than 23. 23 is the bigger offensive threat. He's been in the lane a long time. Scoots out just before the 3-second call. Again, a lot of cutting and slashing by 23, 42, and 20. Sydney gets underneath. That's a great defense by Sydney, sneaking underneath. Great defense by Leah to hold her position. These possessions are very long for Alabama. It's good that they're showing that patience, but also good for us that they're eating up so much clock time. Finally, a little bit closer of a shot there. Leah's got a good hand. 22 decides not to take it. Marquette is able to score quickly and often. Lakeshore Sharks here have had this ball for over a minute, get themselves to about a 10-foot shot, and with Sydney's long arms, that makes it a challenging shot. Double picker for 23. That ball is short, and after a minute and a half possession, they come up empty-handed. Here comes Marquette. Looks like Lakeshore was able to get back on defense. Nice seal there by Leah. She's going to escape to the basket. Does Anna see her? She does, but too weak of a pass. That's going to be a jump ball, and that's going to go to Blue. Great pick and roll action. Pass just not able to connect. All right, Lakeshore again has the ball here with 6 minutes to go. Let's see how quickly they get a shot. 23's got the ball. Has our best defender, Lucy, in front of them. Lucy and Anna over there. They're not going to get close enough. You can see 42 trying to charge the lane. Ball off the top of the backboard. That's one of the adjustments here. If you're a shooter that likes to go high off the backboard, you'll notice how much smaller these are. These clip-on rims are otherwise. Ivy's got the ball in the middle. She's got to shoot. Looked like she got fouled there. They don't call a foul or a shot. That's unusual. The kind of shot that short without some interference. All right, 22's got the ball again. Lakeshore has not yet scored in this quarter. In fact, I don't think either team has scored in this quarter yet. 22 takes about an 8-foot shot. Nice off the 2 pickers in front of her. Is able to take her time without Sydney's arm in the way. Lakeshore strikes first. Lots of close shots by Marquette. They've just got to finish them. Ivy cuts to the rim and drains it. Great to see that confidence, great ball handling skills, great sealing by our team to get that open shot. Marquette maintains a 7-point lead. All right, 22 has turned into the primary offensive weapon with her ball handling skills and able to hit that 8-foot shot. She's going to try the other side of the court that doesn't have Sydney on it, but that side has Lucy. So we'll see how close she can get. They tried to run the pick and roll, but Lucy is too fast for 42 to get around. Oh, 22 bounces it off of her own player's chair, but he's able to recover. Good defense by Leah. see how hard Leah's working. Bright red cheeks, hustling super hard. Amazing to see in her first national tournament. Lucy's got 23 locked down. Leah's got the bigger 42. Lucy's over here. Again, about a minute and a half possession. It's about a 10-foot shot. Leah gets a tip on that. Great defense by Marquette. That ball's going to stay here. Would have been beneficial if we got that call on the other side, but at least the refs are picking it up now. Coach giving Leah a break. She's been pushing super hard. Sophia's in there helping out with 42. Now with 20. Super late foul call. Fouls on Anna. I'm joined here by guest commentator Alec from Varsity. He does not agree with that call. I got to say, Alec's probably right on this one. 2 shots for Lakeshore. Lakeshore has had phenomenal free throw shooting. They're 3 for 4. Number 12 has not taken a free throw shot yet, so not sure their capability yet. Ball off the back of the rim. Timeout Blue. We'll see if our roving reporter, Alec, is willing to go down and check on the score of the Dallas-New York game. I will. All right. He'll be back, folks, with an update. Okay, this is the second foul shot. It'll be a live ball after this shot with 3:22 to go. Not too many possessions in this quarter, with Lakeshore taking over a minute for each of their 3 possessions. Lakeshore's not going to try to rebound this. No rim was hit, so the ball goes out of bounds automatically. And Lakeshore has to retreat their defense past half court. All right, that's third or fourth possession. No one seems to be guarding the lane there. Anna's able to sneak right through. Ivy tosses it in. She's way under the rim, not able to take that shot. Sydney's in the middle, shows some patience, and the ball goes in. Boy, are these rims friendly. Lakeshore down. Clock is at 2:50. Nobody covers 23. Unable to finish with 22 slashes. They are a great offensive rebounding team. That's the third or fourth offensive rebound that they've had. Again, not something that you typically see at the prep level, but they are slashing to the lane constantly, even on their own shots. All right. Marquette got isolated on that side with a 1-on-2. All right, Sydney's cutting to the lane. Anna sees her. Sydney is about 6 foot out and drains the shot from 6 feet out. That is so tough to cover. Lakeshore has done just a great job of keeping Sydney away from her favorite shot, which is right in front of the rim. But Sydney is shooting incredibly. They are up 26-13, 150 left to go. All right, that foul is called on Lucy for backing into another player. So refs calling it really tightly on the foul calls. Let's hope they call that evenly, because if one of our players gets fouled out, this could be a close game in a hurry. Getting great extra minutes out of Sophia here while Leah is able to catch her breath on the sideline. 22 is going to take that 8-foot shot off the backboard. They benefit from the friendly rim this time, and that bucket is good. Marquette started this half, with an 11-point lead. They've been able to maintain that. Let's see if they can extend it on this possession. 1:20 left. Anna escapes to the middle, dumps it off to Ivy. Ivy gets the foul call and the bucket. Looks like the refs are calling this with the touch fouls on both sides. This time Marquette benefits from it, and Anna gets an N1. Sorry, Ivy shoots the N1.
Dallas is down 12-19 with about 3:53 left in the fourth. But
all right, with I'm going to let you give that announcement.
Dallas is down 12-19 with 3:53 left in the third.
All right, so shockingly, the number one undefeated team, Dallas Mavericks, are down, and we'll see how that game proceeds. Only a few minutes left in the third quarter down there. Alec is hedging his report by indicating that there could have been some additional scoring on the time that he was on the elevator. Thank you, sir. Great service here in Virginia at the center here. Great, well-maintained facility. Ivy with a great move. She's got Anna underneath. Anna is too far under the rim. That is one of the risks of these rims and being so far out. 10 seconds left. It'd be great for Marquette to get this stop here and go in with a 13-point lead. But 20 take an open shot. Few seconds left here. So Marquette able to maintain their 11-point lead, but don't extend it further. We're headed to the fourth quarter. Marquette 30, Lakeshore Sharks 19. We'll see you in a minute. All right, we are in the fourth quarter of this Final Four action. Ivy Cosgrove breaks to the lane, has a scoop, unable to finish. Here comes Lakeshore. Lakeshore picking up the pace. 42 able to get down low. Lead is down to 9. Marquette's got to be careful here. They've over-relied on their being able to set up their defense, and if we're going to miss shots, Anna gets fouled, doesn't bother her, drains the shot, back up to an 11-point lead. Great finish, great patience by Anna. despite the contact to finish. All right, Marquette's back. 42 has been scoring well. Sydney's down there with Eleanor. Nobody is holding 23. That's kind of shocking. He's able to hit an 8-foot shot. My co-commentator Alex says that should have been a foul. Offensive foul. Let's see what Anna does here. Passes it over to Ivy. Bad pass, and Lakeshore has it. Marquette's got to stay aggressive. They cannot just rely on this lead. Another offensive rebound with the and one. We've got to keep them outside of getting those rebounds. That is, they're too good of a team to let that happen, and that could let them back into this game. So that's at least 6 to 8 points off of the offensive rebounds. Alec apparently does not agree with any referee calls that don't go our way. We like his loyalty. All right, here comes Marquette. They've got an 8-point lead. Let's see if they can get back up to a double-digit lead. They are doubling Sydney down there. Not much able to work on the right side of the court. Let's see what we can do over here. Anna with a long shot, doesn't get it. Rebound by Lakeshore. Here they come. Not much patience showed there. You'd like to see a little bit more patience and a little bit better shot. All right, don't know how long the coaches are going to have Lucy out. Defense has kind of collapsed with Lucy out, so would expect them to get back to their starting five here now that we're down to a 6-point lead and a lot of quick, easy buckets for Lakeshore. All right, Marquette fans, Marquette parents really cheering on their team. Back to our starting five on the court. Anna's got the ball. Let's see how aggressive they are here on offense. Scott Sidney down low. Anna's going to get in, gets it over to Ivy. Nice patience showed, backing that ball back out. Sidney's got the rebound, and it is in. Nice to see Marquette finally get an offensive rebound of their own. To 8, great play by sneaking around her defenders while they're up looking at the shot. Marquette back in their teacup. They've got Lucy back on the court. .22 is 12 feet away, tries to line up for a shot. Coaches called a timeout. I think they were about to get a 3-second call, and the coaches saw that it could happen at any time and called a timeout. Great defense by Marquette. Well, Lakeshore has showed what they can do on the fast break if we miss our easy shots and they can get down and into the lane. Marquette has settled down a little bit here with 4:47 left to go in the game. '22's got the ball and 23 on the side here. So definitely this is the strong side. 20 cuts across to try to take away some defense. Lucy follows her. Lakeshore has the setup that they want. He's going to take a 10-foot shot. It is too far, and Sydney's got the ball. Break there for Marquette with 23 shooting skills. He's hit a bunch of those. Sydney's across the court. Nice move. Crossover. She's got Leah right on the loop. Leah takes a shot, and it's good. We saw those type of plays opening up in the first half for Anna and Ivy, and good to see Leah getting on the action as well. Marquette is back up to a double-digit lead, 10 points with 4 minutes to go. Obviously, they got to hang tight onto this lead. All right, number 23 passes up the 12-foot shot. This time he rotates. He's going to take it this time. Off the backboard, doesn't hit rim. Here comes Marquette. I'd like to apologize to Leah's family. I'm so nervous up here. I missed that on the highlight reel, but hopefully you all got a chance to see it. Anna drains the basket with an and one. Great team play here by Marquette. Just goes to show you, if you focus too much on the top scorer of any team, the other players get opened up, making great shots. Anna's able to extend this to a 12-point lead, potentially a 13-point lead. Great teamwork by Marquette. Ball bounces out. 20's got the rebound. Now it's over to 23. Here come the Sharks. '22 able to cut to the lane, but she sees Sydney. Doesn't want to shoot over that. Comes out to the outside. Marquette's able to set up its defense. Again, great characters by 22. And the super friendly rim works in their favor once again. Marquette's up by 10. Leah's got the ball. Too far. Anna's got the recovery. Too far. Ball trickles out of bounds. Lakeshore ball. Would love to hit our players hit those shots this late in the game, that close to the rim. Unfortunately, don't get it there. 10-point lead, 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Here comes Lakeshore. At least the ball went out of bounds, so Marquette was able to come back and set up its defense. Close shot by 23. That's way too close for this point in the game. Very quick score. Marquette's got to be careful. Anna able to sneak around and nails the backboard shot. Great to see that confidence from Anna. She's our top scorer in the fourth quarter here. We're now up 40-30 with 2 minutes to go. '23 takes a look at the rim. Off the backboard. He is really heating up in the fourth quarter here. Over to Anna. Anna decides to run some time off the clock, gets it to Ivy. Ivy is fouled. Headed to the free throw line with 1:27 left. Let's hope she gets at least one of these free throws. Ball escapes off the rim, but it was a nice, clean shot. Marquette up by 8. Ball is short. Sydney got the rebound and would have been able to put that in fairly quickly. Big break, big break for Lakeshore. That would have been an easy bucket for Sydney, but there was a lane violation instead. And I was going to get a second shot at this free throw. Looks like the coach on the other side might be making some substitutions. 23 is now out. So down 8 points. Classy move by Alabama's coach. Super unusual call. We don't know what happened, but Ivy is not given the opportunity for a second free throw. And Alabama's got the ball with a minute 24 left, and it's down by 8. Marquette should be careful here. Can't afford a three-point shot for sure. Coach is telling their team to go. What may have happened there is that might have been 5 fouls on 23, which is why he's out with just a minute 30 left. Tough foul call there. Sydney had her hand all over the ball, but they give the foul there. Non-shooting foul. Fortunate for Marquette because 20 hit both of their free throws last time. As you're inbounding it, you cannot cut to the lane until the ball is in your inbounder's hands. 20's got the ball, less than a minute to go here, down by 8. Leah's making sure that there's not an easy three-pointer done out there. Sydney comes, picks it up, puts her hand up. 22 tries to juke around it. That's not going to work with 3 defenders in their face. 14-foot shot off the backboard, escapes. Sydney's got the ball. Could be the last possession here, folks. Saoirse is here asking for 1-2 with 31 seconds left. Unfortunately, a player fell here. Coach is going to help that player up. 42 has had an incredible fourth quarter, able to cut to the lane, helped up by teammate 22. 2 incredibly strong female athletes out there, combined with the other female athletes on the floor. More female athletes than we've seen in any other game in the tournament. Just outstanding to see. Strong future for women's wheelchair basketball. All right, looks like the last minute subs are coming in. Big applause for everybody on the court. We're at 31 seconds here. Marquette's going to hang on to that ball for a few seconds before they cross the line. Doesn't look like the other coach is going to foul. Lucy's going to make it to the hoop. Decides not to take a shot quite yet. Patient with it. Rebound, 17 seconds left. Ball does not go in. Rebound by Alabama. That should be it. 2 seconds left. And that means your Marquette Wausau Golden Eagles are headed to the National Wheelchair Basketball Championship tomorrow to face either New York or Dallas, who are finishing their game on the far court. Congratulations to the incredible Wausau Marquette Golden Eagles. They're making the championship with Coach Jim, Coach Amber, Coach Jordan, several varsity players there to celebrate. Super classy team with Alabama beating Atlanta, and then a strong game. Their coach makes sure to get in there and give every single player 5. Great to see, even when there's a loss in a high competitive game, that there's camaraderie. The big Marquette flag is out. Tomorrow's game is at noon. We don't know what the score is over on that Dallas-New York game, but I'm going to see if I can't zoom in for you to see whether or not you'll be able to see who wins that game over there. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at noon tomorrow. Dallas is in white. New York is in blue. Maybe somebody could see the score on the NWBA website and be able to post it. I'll keep streaming here. Crowd's going pretty crazy over there for both teams. Not sure what the score is. Based off of the lack of urgency on New York's team and with no shot clock, my guess is that they are up by a few points. Must not be too close from a time perspective yet, as they are not fouling on Dallas's side yet. You can see the incredible crowd has gathered around the Dallas-New York game. It's got to be close. My guess is that New York's up by just one or two. That free throw does not go in. That one rims out. It's Dallas's ball. Oh, foul called. Not sure about that call. Seemed to be all ball, but I'm very far away from the court. And they call it a shooting foul. First free throw misses badly. Second free throw goes in. Quick foul, which again means that New York must be up. They are over the team foul limit, which means that even though it's not a shooting foul, they go directly 2 free throws. First free throw is good. Second free throw bounces out, but New York might have it. Lots of contact and an and one. New York extends its lead and is headed to the free throw line. Looks like there must have been a lane violation. So they're going to give him another shot. Or maybe this is the and one. I can't even remember anymore. Does not go in. Dallas has got the ball. Coach calls timeout. All right, we think Dallas is down by at least 3 points. Not sure how much time is left. Ball is missed. Tapped away. Dallas recovers. Great defense by New York. Oh, somebody drops into the lane. Number 12, they don't see him. Great offensive rebound with a bucket. New York taking its time, getting across the line. Looks like that's it, folks. New York is defeated, the number 1 team in the tournament, the undefeated Dallas Mavericks. That means your championship matchup is number 4, New York, and number 6, the Marquette WASA Golden Eagles. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.